underneath this, for the lack of a better term, body panel is of course a heat shield and the muffler. The muffler has a dent in it. The only reason this doesn't have a dent in it is because it's been replaced. Let me explain. See, Saturday night at the BOGGS and Boulders 2017 Halloween event, we went out for a night ride with Steve and his friends and my daughter and a couple others that had camped next to Steve and them and got invited to go, is what I assume happened. Anyway, we all took off. I took up the rear position as usual so I could watch my daughter, and then some of the newer people jumped in behind me, having a blast. First thing we did was climb the hill that goes up to the cross. We did the switchback deal. That was a little tense for me, just watching my daughter do it on the four-wheeler, but she did it like a champ, just like she does everything like a champ. I take it back that some of the newer people took up the rear behind me. At first they did not. At first they were leading, and well, take a look at this RZR. That's the RZR that took up the lead to go up the switchback to the cross. Then we took off from there and went out riding again. And at some point, we came off a trail onto kind of more of a main trail, and took a stop for a second. And then when we took off again, the lead RZR fell in behind me, and we took off again, having a blast, up and down, you know, through the trails at night. Everybody's partying, good time. Having fun. Well, at one point we were coming down some fairly steep hills, and you know, as people were in the front were coming to a stop so they could kind of negotiate turns or whatever it was they were trying to negotiate, everybody stopped, and of course I'd like to leave a gap between the people in front of me, so just in case they're sliding or something like that, just kind of safety on the trails. And so I stopped and was sitting there for a little bit waiting for people to move. And all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, I was sitting there for maybe a minute, 2 minutes before this happened. But all of a sudden, I go crash. Like, what the heck? I look back, and this RZR sitting up underneath me. Now I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, you know, I was, and remember, at this point, I don't have my voice. I'm like, oh no. I first drive away, and then I stop. I get out and look, or else I get out and look, and then I drive a little bit, and then I stop again. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, because it was like, you know, it was making me mad. Because remember, I had only had this not even a whole month yet. This was brand spanking new. And so then I finally went all the way down to where my daughter and Steve had stopped, and Steve was actually, I'm not sure how he knew it, because I was pretty far up the hill when it happened. But he came walking back to me and asked me, "Did you hit me?" I said, "Yeah." And we went back and looked at it, and you could see right in here where it was dented. I was a little upset. And, you know, I was a little upset. I wasn't like, you know, oh, I wanted to kill somebody or something like that. But, I mean, and I wasn't really mad at the guy that did it, as much as I was just upset that my brand new baby RZR was already damaged. So I walked back up the hill, and, you know, through my non-voice, like, "You got insurance?" He's like, and I said, "You damaged it, you know." And he's like, "It's okay, okay, we'll take care of it." And so he was a nice guy. He wasn't trying to back out of what happened. And really, frankly, if it hadn't been so new, I probably, you know, would have looked at it and determined it wasn't going to take a whole lot just to fix it. But it was brand spanking new, and so I figured I better see if this guy will take accountability for smacking my dent in my brand new RZR, which we did. We exchanged our information, and he asked me if I would, take it to a dealership and have them price it out, and then send him a copy of that estimate. To which I did, and within about a month, he'd sent me a check to cover the parts. So when I talk about the culture of people that ride Razors and stuff and how they're so nice to each other, well, this guy, and I'm not saying his name just because there's no reason to, but this guy, even stepped up above the nice culture of people when they're in the park, after, because really, if he just said the heck with it and never sent me anything, what was I going to do? For the amount of money that it cost, it was not quite $200 cost to replace these parts. What was I going to do, trying to pursue this guy if he didn't want to cover the cost? But he did, and I don't feel, people should be accountable for the stuff that they do. But at the same time, mistakes happen, things happen, and I never want to be too rough on somebody out of a mistake if it's just kind of a minor thing. So, had it not been so new, I would have just probably not done anything about it and not pursued him. But he still came through like an honorable person, and so I appreciate that. He's probably, I'll never see this video, and I'm not giving out his name, but the point being, he was a stand-up guy, and he came through. Anyway, that was a fun thing. But that's what happened the last Saturday night of the Halloween ride.